Holy hand grenades, I'm getting hungry. Oh, yeah. You can see the clock at the bottom. I had a cookie a few minutes ago. I thought I'd not be so hungry. All right, well, whatever. Hey, guess what? Now let's talk about the use of zero. And I'm telling you, as I'm going through all these videos, all of this stuff gets used in algebra all over the place. So you have to, if you have this stuff down really good, it just is going to make your life easier in Math 60 and whatever comes after that and all the rest. So yeah, just keep studying this stuff up, get it down real good. Okay, so on this one, we're dividing by zero and we're dividing something into zero. Okay, because this one right here could be written as 0/3. And that'd be the same thing. This one here could be written as 5 divided by 0. And that would be the same thing. All right. So anytime you see a fraction, that's just division in disguise. Ooh. It's like Mission Impossible. I think Mission Impossible 27 is coming out next year. So that'll be fun. Okay. Anyway, so what happens? Well, if we, you know what, I'm gonna kind of break the rules here, and I'm gonna do it on the calculator, okay? So if I do 0 divided by 3, I get 0. And if I do 5 divided by 0, I get evil, okay? So, so what the heck? What's going on? Well, here's the deal. When zero is in the top, or you're dividing something by 0, you've got this situation going on. Yeah, your answer is 0, and here's why. And okay, so Thanksgiving's coming up. We just had Canadian Thanksgiving, so I'm going to give you the parable of the Thanksgiving dinner. Once upon a time, you went to Thanksgiving dinner and you ate way too much and it was wonderful. And you fell asleep in front of the TV watching football. And while you were asleep, your favorite pie, pumpkin pie, well, that's mine. It's my favorite. It's got to be my wife making it. Okay, she just is amazing. They cut the pie into 8 pieces, which is very standard. And so somebody had a piece and somebody else had a piece and then somebody else, and you're asleep during all this, and somebody else and somebody else and somebody else and somebody else, and the whole pie is gone. And so you got 0 out of 8 pieces. Now, that's not desirable, although your body is probably thanking you for not eating pie right then, but that's not desirable for your taste buds, but it does make sense mathematically. 0 divided by 8 is 0. You got 0% of the pie. Okay. Well, another year came, another year went, and you fell asleep again on the chair, on the lazy boy chair at your uncle's house, and you're like, oh, this is the life. I'm sure I'll wake up before the pie is eaten. Okay. So this time you wake up and we're just going to say you got 8/0 of the pie. First of all, I hope that doesn't make sense to you, because it doesn't make sense. So remember back here, we said, yeah, the top number, that's how many pieces you got, and the bottom number is how many pieces were available. Same thing here. You got 8 pieces out of 0 pieces available. That doesn't make any sense. You got 8 when there was nothing there. Well, there was a pie there, but the fraction doesn't make sense. I got 8 pieces. I ate 8 pieces, and there were only 0 there to start with. Okay, the only time this makes sense is when, you do government accounting and they're like, yeah, well, we'll just print more money or something stupid that doesn't really work. So anyway, so division by 0, that doesn't work. That gives you an error. You need to have that down, because I get students in algebra and they're just like, I say, okay, so what's 7 divided by 0? And they're like, 0? And I go, no, there's no solution. Can't divide by 0. It's evil. It's wrong. It doesn't make sense. All right, let's move on. All right, it's time to let you in on a little secret here about how to multiply and divide numbers. So, okay, hopefully you've been practicing real good your your rules for how to add and subtract numbers so that you get the right answer with the right sign. Now, with multiplication and division, the good news, well, the bad news is, well, you've got another rule to remember. But the good news is it's the same rule for multiplication and division, okay? I'm going to type it out because it's just awesome. Okay, so for multiplication and division, if the signs are the same, you get positive. Otherwise, you get a negative. And that's it. That's the whole thing. Okay, so it's pretty cool. And maybe you already remembered that from, I don't know, some point in your life. So 8 times 6 is 48. The signs are different, so it's negative. 18 divided by 6 is 3. The signs are different, so it's negative. Shazam, that's it. Okay, that's all that's happening there. Let's try another one here. Am I still recording? Yeah, okay, cool. Is anything here going to be the same sign? Okay, well, 35 divided by 5 is 7, but the signs are different, negative. 9 times 8 is 72, the signs are different, negative. Okay, let me see if I can find something that's, not the same as all of the others here. There. Okay, this is really going to blow your mind. 36 divided by 9 is 4. The signs are opposite, negative. 3 times 7 is 21. The signs are the same, positive. That's it. Okay, it's super cool. It's flipping awesome. All righty, so now we get to do more multiplying. Okay, and what more could a guy ask for? So, like we did with the addition and subtraction, we do it from left to right. Okay, so on the left, we've got negative 4 times negative 1. Signs are the same, so that's positive. Then we do 4 times 4. That's 16. You're welcome. All righty, let's do one with 4 integers. How about that? There we go. Oh, now we're living the dream. Living the dream. Okay, left to right, negative 2 times 4. Let's see, 2 times 4 is 8, but they're different signs, so negative. Then left to right, 8 times 1 is 8. They're the same sign, so positive. Positive 8. 8 times 2 is 16, but the signs are different, negative. And that's all there is to it, folks. All right, so now we're going to get into exponents. Maybe you're familiar with them, maybe you're not. Let's assume you're not. So when I've got something like 3 to the second power, or 3 with an exponent of 2, or when it's the second power, you can just say squared, but whatever. 3 to the second power. That's just a shorthand notation that says, I want 2 3s multiplied together. Okay? So why do we do that? Well, because there are situations where you've got something like, 8 to the, or we'll say 2 to the 9th power. Okay? And it's like, well, I don't want to write 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 2. It's trickier to keep track of what you have. Here, it's easy. It's just, oh, I got 9 2's multiplied together, 512. Wham. Okay, so that's the point. It's just to simplify math so that you don't have these big strings of multiplications that are kind of hard to keep track of. Okay, so now this one involves negative signs. Spaghetti-o. All right, so notice on the first one, the negative sign is outside the parentheses. So that tells us that this 2 is not affecting the negative sign. This 2 is only going to affect what's inside the parentheses. So the 2 says I need 2 7s multiplied together. Okay, and this negative out in front, it's just still out in front. Nothing's happened. It's following along like your kid brother wanting to play with the big kids. All right, so now I've got negative 7 times positive 7. Well, 7 times 7 is 49. The signs are different. I get a negative. Bam. Now let's compare that with the other one. Okay, and you're definitely gonna have to practice this stuff. It's not the hardest thing in the world, but you know, to keep it straight, you got to practice. All right, now this time, the exponent is affecting this minus sign because it's inside the parentheses, but it is not affecting this one. It's outside, it's just hanging around, just looking for something to do. Okay, so this minus sign or this negative is just, it's just there. All right, but the 3 says, I need -6 multiplied by itself 3 times. Oh, and incidentally, if I don't put anything in between them, that means multiplication. It's just understood. So, I mean, I can put the multiplication dot there if I want, but I don't have to, at least not in this situation. Okay, so left to right, okay? I've got the opposite of -6. Or you could say, well, this is like -1 times -6. Either way, I don't care. But the opposite of -6 is going to be just 6. And then these two guys, they're still there. Left to right, 6 times 6 is 36. But the signs are different, so it's negative. And then this -6 is still just floating around right here. Okay. -6 or 36 times 6 is, of course, 216. Everybody knows that, right? The signs are the same, so it's a positive 216, and I'm done. Okay, you're gonna need to practice that. You got to keep track of what's being affected by the exponent, like this negative, and what is not, like these negatives. All right. Practice, practice, practice every day, at least 5 minutes a day. All right, remember how once upon a time I said I'm going to do order of operations with you? Well, that day is today. And by the way, yes, my favorite color is orange. I think this is orange. I'm also colorblind. Isn't that weird that I actually have a favorite color? Okay, so are there any parentheses? Well, yeah, but there's nothing going on inside of these parentheses. It's just -3. There's nothing else. It's not like 1 minus 3. And it's like, oh, there's something to do. No, there's nothing to do inside. Same thing here. There's just a -8 inside the parentheses. There's nothing to do. It's just a single number. All right, moving on. Are there any exponents? No. I don't see, you know, that or anything like that. Are there any multiplications or divisions? Yes. There is one multiplication and no divisions, so I'll handle that right now. So 3 times 8 is 24. The signs are the same, so it's a positive. Boom. Notice this guy out here, though, he wasn't part of the multiplication. So he's still there. And of course, the -4 is still there as well. But the minus and the minus, they both yield a positive 24. And this guy is right there. So we're subtracting away a positive 24, or just minus 24. All right, let's see, -4 minus 24. Let's see, how do we do subtraction? Well, with subtraction, if the I've got -4 minus 24, so they're both kind of a minus. So I just say 4 and 24 is 28, and keep the sign, keep the minus sign. Okay, and there's that guy. I think it'd be super cool if we did another one. Something else. Yeah, that was cool, I guess. Alrighty, so order of operations. There's no parentheses or exponents, but there is a multiplication or division. So right there. 12 divided by 3 is 4. The signs are the same, so it's positive. And then I still got subtract 9 floating around. 4 minus 9 is, let's see, I've got $4. I lose $9. I am now in debt $5. And that's my final answer because there's nothing left to do now. Okay. I like order of operations. It's probably very likely going to be on that test. Okay. Hey, this looks more fun. Okay. So again, the order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplications and divisions simultaneously, additions and subtractions simultaneously, and everything from left to right. And to remember it, it's please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or porcupines enjoy math. Don't after Simpsons. Just, whatever you want to do, or just PEMDAS. Okay. Are there any parentheses? Well, I mean, yeah, again, there's these right here, but there's nothing going on inside. It's just a single number inside. However, there is, in effect, parentheses, okay, because it's a big fraction. When it's a big fraction, you need to deal with the top all by itself and deal with the bottom all by itself. And once you're done simplifying the top and the bottom completely, then you will combine them with that division. Okay, so let's tackle, I don't know, the bottom looks easier. Let's do that. So on the bottom, are there any parentheses? No. Are there any exponents? Yes. Okay, and so 3 to the third power is not 9. That's a mistake a lot of people make. It's 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. Okay, so we've got a 27 down there. Okay, are there any multiplications or divisions? No. Any additions or subtractions? Yes. 3 minus 27, that's going to be negative 24. Okay, the bottom is done. And we could have done the top first. It didn't matter. I just wanted to do the easy one first. That way I kind of build my confidence. Okay, on the top, any parentheses that we have to worry about? No. Any exponents? Yeah. Got that one and that one. I'll do them from left to right. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. Okay, and there's still an exponent, so I'll deal with that. Negative 4 times negative 4 is a positive 16. Notice this minus sign is still there. Oh, I love order of operations. It just fills my heart with warmth and joy and glee. Okay, on top, there's only one thing left to do, and that's the subtraction. So 64 minus 16 is 48. And now the top is done, is simplified, the bottom is simplified. Now I can combine them. 48 divided by negative 24. Let's see, division. The signs are different, so we're going to get a negative. And 48 divided by 24 is 2. And there we go. Now, if you don't follow the order of operations, there's all kinds of weird, strange and weird answers you could have gotten that would have been wrong. So this is a really good one to practice. Practice, practice, practice. Okay, that's all I got for you.